Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Derek Weldon from the Cool JDM Show, and I am joined here today with Michael Dennis.
That is me in the flesh, and I am joined here today by Maximilian Scheffler.
Hey. And I don't have a longer version of my name, and so you can't continue it. There is a shorter version of my name, but I can't get into that because it's not safe for the show. Now,
it's Pookie.
No, it's just my first letter of my name.
Oh.
Which is semi-safe for the show. But anyways, in today's episode, we are going to talk about Max getting down this week. We're also going to be talking about new cars are for idiots, and you guys shouldn't be doing that. Another funny truck name, Derek's old dream car before the Corolla became my dream car. The problem with restored cars at auction. A cool PCA Porsche collab. Sort of,
yeah.
Right?
Thank you for pronouncing that correctly.
And then plenty of last week's questions. We got a ton of them. Yes. Now, we also have a question section at the end of the show, so if you have questions in the live chat, go ahead and ask them now. We will answer them in approximately an hour and a half, maybe a little bit later, depending on how long it takes us to go through the show. And I will say, we always take too much time talking about things. This time's main topic, I feel like, is a little bit trimmer than it usually is and a little bit more engaging. So if I'm wrong about that, you can kick me underneath the table. But let's see.
I think it's pretty funny that you mentioned the main topic, and we have DW in the chat say, this show feels targeted towards me.
I think
we'll see, DW.
I feel like he is the most likely person to be buying one of the cars that we show in the upcoming auction picks.
That's true.
And then getting the free video. Yes. I am so excited. I totally want to do one of those videos, so I can't wait until somebody goes ahead and purchases something.
We have to go off-roading.
You know what we needed to do, actually? I'll get back to that, so hold that for a second. We should just go through our bid list for the day and then put those into the show and then be like, look, somebody got the car. Just so that we can make that video.
Yeah.
So now, speaking of off-roading, we should go off-roading?
Yeah.
Because I've got a Corolla and you've got a Civic Type R.
Oh, right.
So,
I went off-roading with camping, and the exhaust hangs so low that it scrapes all of the gravel when I go through the campsite.
You have pictures of that. You should have put them into the show.
Right.
You should have. But now that we're live, we can't, Mr. Producer.
Yes. Moving right along.
We'll start off with industry talk here. Industry talk.
I saw Max's fingers going like, wait, are we announcing? Are we not? Anyway.
And this is the one that you guys voted on in the community tab on YouTube. Maybe you saw that in your subscription feed, and then you're like, hey, here's a question. I can't scroll past this without answering it. And so your questions were, two of them, which I think we're going to drop because nobody seems to be interested.
Yeah, drop.
And so at 24%, if money weren't a concern, what car would you modify and how? And then in second place at 31%, everyone's single favorite thing about living in Japan. Cumulatively, between those two of them, it is above 50%, though, of the vote. And so there are people that are interested in that. And then in first place, the topic that we will talk about in today's industry talk section is the problem with restored cars at auction.
All right.
I'm going to cross my fingers and just kind of hope that every single one of our current and future customers are watching this show, because we have to explain this to a lot of people, especially people looking for cars that are older than about 25 years old, which is many people in the U.S. Yeah. Half our sales are that old. And so something to consider.
For the voting, is there a way for us to just let people vote for their own topics? Like, let people suggest topics? Or does that just make the poll get way too long?
You can't just add topics, but some people commented new topics on it, and I put that into our list. And we
that is great. And so if you see that going forward, do comment your own topic that you want to talk about in more detail. If you have a question, we'll answer the questions in the questions section, but that requires less prep. And so some of these questions are a little bit more complicated, and we want to come up with a detailed and well-organized response to them. So jumping into that, first and foremost, what do we mean by a restored car at auction? Okay, so to begin with, most of these cars, you're looking at an age range of about 25 or 30 years or older. Of course, it could be as old as 50 years, like my car, but that's getting a little bit extreme. And the auctions, honestly, are not always the best place to be buying restored cars. You do need to know what you're getting into and what your risks are, your risk portfolio. And if it makes sense, like it did for me, then I bought my 50-year-old car. And so maybe it will for you as well. There's very much reading between the lines that needs to be done, and just assuming that you understand the conditions of cars once they reach a certain age. You know, you don't get mint condition 50-year-old cars unless they cost over $100,000. And nobody's investing that much money into a car unless it's worth it to put that much money in. I'm looking at the Hakoska GTRs or the 432 Fairladies or something like that. And so we see these restored cars at auction, and I'm putting those in parentheses because I would think that about 98% of what would be considered a restored car at auction is only kind of fake restored, which I'll explain in just a second here. And so usually these cars are 25 to 30 years old, and they are recognizable because they will almost always have new paint that has been done recently. So the auction diagram will have no scratches, no dents, and there will be a note that says a full repaint has been done. That's your warning flag that this car has been quote unquote restored. Okay? And so I don't think that a car can really reach 25 to 30 years old without actually having a decent amount of body damage on it, even if it's in good condition.
100%.
And so if it is completely clean, it's like this one's been repainted. What's the story behind that? Here's where we read between the lines.
Unless it has incredibly low mileage, that would be like the only reason. Like it was just never used.
Or if it was a future classic, like if it was a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like a Ferrari California or something like that, that you know that nobody's ever really driving that car.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be in original condition. But for the most part, like your Silvias, your Skylines, your MR2s.
Just sports cars that were driven or bought to be used.
Yeah. It always baffles me when I see a sports car like the 8.6 with very low mileage, because these were cheap enthusiast cars that were bought by people who enjoyed driving. So like, what's the story of a car that is bought for the enjoyment of driving but then never gets driven?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a sad story. That's like someone should make a horror movie with that as a premise.
Maybe they moved
horror movie for car guys.
Maybe they moved overseas and had the car stored for.
Yeah. Like life moved in a different direction.
This is Max always assuming that we're talking about him when we say something and then injecting himself into this conversation.
Okay, I'm going to keep silent. I'm muting myself. Goodbye.
No, I like that.
Yeah, the show's done now. Sorry, Derek. The producer says we're done. Okay, so on what I want to do is get into more details on the criteria that I had decided for what I would consider a restored car. So criteria number 1 is the restoration happens once rare cars become popular. So this is a supply and demand curve. Once a car becomes popular, it doesn't necessarily become a car that gets restored. Just because a car is rare doesn't mean it's something that gets restored. And so it has to be the correct supply and demand. There needs to be a demand for it to be restored and not a very high supply of the car, because otherwise the price of the car is too low, and therefore you don't invest the money needed in order to up the condition of it. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my mind, but sometimes I think so. In my mind it doesn't turn out in my mouth. Okay, so an example of that. Here we have a picture of a 1972 Nissan Fairlady Z. This one is the 432 edition of it. I think they only made like a few hundred of them. These are the ones with the GTR engine in them. That's the S20, 160 horsepower, inline 6-cylinder, 2-liter twin cam engine. The normal one had a non-cross flow single cam 2 liter and 2.4 liter here in Japan. Very, very rare car here. Very high popularity, very, very low supply. Absolutely one of the top cars of JDM cars to be in the running for being restored.
And this was like a final, like, maybe not final, but special production model, and kind of ticks all the boxes of.
That's right. It has that desirability, and there are a few of them enough that people want to restore them, because it is expensive to restore a car, especially if done properly. Second picture here, and I just pulled this one out of the air. It is a 1972 Mazda Shante. This car is also
That's
equally
funny.
rare at auction. In fact, you are never finding these at auction because nobody kept them on the road because nobody cared about them. Now, if you see one of these on the road, it's very cool and unique to see it because, again, there might be 3 or 4 of them left in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 or 12 left in Japan.
Yeah.
Because this was just a runabout K car.
Yeah.
Looks like a Ford Escort front.
I really like this
it kinda does.
style of front from this generation. There seems to be tons of cars that all do the same thing.
Like 70s JDM looks.
Yeah, like rounded off square headlights with that hood that dips over. Your car had a version that was the same, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, mine has
Very
the hood that is similar to this one, but it's not supposed to be on that version of the car.
Yeah.
Love the wheels on this, though. Those are
teeny tiny little
Kitchen
little
sink.
aluminum wheels.
Kitchen sink
Yeah.
special.
Right? Those, I'm sure those are 10s
shower drain holes.
that are on it. Yeah, cool. Actually, the rear of this car is very cool. If you want to take a look at it, it has like really large, kind of like semi-round taillights. Anyways, a car like this, very, very, very low popularity for restoring it, and very low supply. So just because a car is rare doesn't mean that it's in the running to get restored. If you go to restore this in perfect condition, it still might only be 10 grand, and you've spent more than that to restore the car. Okay? Criteria 2, all the parts need to be available for the car to restore it. This is a lot of the reason why you don't see a ton of cars like this. The parts just don't exist at all. So you ever want to repair something, you're custom building parts. 3D printing, I guess, is a good way to fill that gap, but you're never getting the original parts, and originality on a restored car is important. So yeah, are the parts available? Got another picture here, and this is a 1972. You can see I went with a trend here for the years. This guy too with a 1972.
Yeah.
You know how it is. This is a Mazda Cosmo. This is the first generation Cosmo and Mazda's first rotary car. This absolutely was considered a future classic when it was sold brand new. And even though they only sold 1,500 of these cars, there are still probably something like a few hundred of them on the road, 700, 800 or so, because they knew this was a special car that's going to continue to get restored. Same thing with the Toyota 2000 GT. A few hundred of those, I think 300 or so were made. Probably 300 exist at this moment. And so this one here, high desirability, and people knew about it, so they kept the parts around, so they are relatively easy to restore. And something like this, because it is so special, I would trust a restoration a little bit more than something that is a little bit less special.
Yeah, I mean, you know that they're going to be spending good money on it because it's worth it. If you spend good money on the Ciante, like, why?
I don't know.
Where's your
Part
demand?
of me kind of wants that.
Right, but like if you're doing a restoration that's not for yourself, if it's like a money-making venture, if you're a professional restoration shop or something, then...
Okay, so what we... Sorry.
What?
My mind was going somewhere as he was talking, and I just completely ignored what you said. I'm so
That's
sorry,
fine.
Mike.
We'll keep going.
Mike's used to it, but the
I'm
reason
used
why
to
I'm
it.
apologizing is because you guys might not be used to it, and so either get used to it or
Get used to it.
or I become the monster. The thing is, I wrote something down in this next section, but I can't remember why I wrote it down, so I'm trying to review in my mind, and because it's live, I've got that time pressure.
To give you some extra time, Greg has said the Mitsuoka Lisade Future Classic. I think so. I think they're fantastic. I don't know about the interiors, but
The interiors are completely stock
Yeah.
S13s.
yeah.
And so the parts are as available as S13 parts.
Oh, I mean, like in terms of you see the outside and you're like, wow, what a beautiful car. And you step inside and you're like, that is not what I expected.
Do you really think they're beautiful?
I really do. I think they're awesome. I think it's weird that they chose a Sylvia, but I love them.
I think they're neat too.
It's a little sad that they're so expensive.
I think they're a cool story more than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not really, definitely not my style. It's not a car I'd ever be interested in, but I think it's very cool that the car exists.
No.
Okay, so we obviously have an issue here. We have a demand for restored cars and not a ton of restored cars. And so this means that there is money to be made. And so there are a ton of people who are like, let's get that money without actually doing the work. And this is a large reason why the auctions aren't necessarily a great place to look for cars that have been quote unquote restored.
Yes.
And so first off, we've got two versions of restoration. We've got what I consider an enthusiast restoration and an opportunist restoration. I think you can understand what I mean by that. An enthusiast restoration is going to be done by a shop that's an expert at the car, or an individual who has a passion for that car and wants to make sure everything gets done right. I would consider this to be, this is just a number I pulled out, but a very small amount, maybe somewhere in the range of 2% or so of all restored cars, because it is very, very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
And so taking into consideration that to properly restore a car could be upwards to $100,000 to do it properly, depending on the type of car. It might be $20,000 for some cars that are not so old, but the older the car gets, the more money you're going to have to spend on all those parts, and the more incentive to do it right. Like if you've got a 2000 GT Toyota, this is $1 million car. You're not going to paint it with a $4,000 paint job.
Right.
You're going to spend $25,000 painting it, or maybe more. Parts for these enthusiast cars. I'm kind of dealing with this a little bit myself. Once the car becomes enthusiast enough for a restoration, the parts become very expensive. The center console for my car is $2,000.
Yeah, wow.
This center console was probably $48 from Toyota when it was originally sold, but now that it's 50 years old, there are shops that are like, ooh, let's go to Yahoo Auctions and let's go to these car shows that they sell the parts, which would have been before the internet, right?
Yep.
And let's buy every part that we can get.
Yep.
And we'll put them in a warehouse, and we'll just sit on them. And instead of selling the parts, we'll just continue getting them and getting them and getting them until you've got all the parts, and then suddenly you've got a monopoly on the parts, and you've got $2,000 center consoles, because over time the parts don't last forever, they wear out.
Yep.
And good condition ones, especially new old stock, is going to be very, very valuable. And I'm not joking, $2,000 for new old stock of my console, and all it is a stupid piece of plastic about this big.
That one you got a 3D print.
Oh, that is true, yeah.
You do whatever you like.
I don't even know how to 3D print.
Nicholas.
Can we get one for the office?
A $2,000 console?
No, a 3D printer for $2,000. We could get the $2,000 console and other parts.
How much does a 3D printer cost?
I don't actually know.
Depends. Yeah, I think it depends on the size and then
and the
other
ability too. Like you wouldn't want to have
speed.
a really lame looking 3D printed console in your otherwise very cool car.
Yeah. I think speed is a big factor, like how fast it can actually do the work. Cheap ones are slow, expensive ones are
the
fast.
A-pillar clips on my car broke. Nicholas just printed me new ones where I found like a version online.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then you have clips again. It's
Does Nicholas watch the show?
Sometimes.
Okay, Nicholas, very cool. Max is impressed with you. The amount of times Max talks about you in the office with like that glow in his eyes.
Ah, okay.
Hit him up. Slide into his DMs.
They're going to a 8-6 event next weekend, right? That's your chance, Nicholas.
Anyway, keep on.
Anyway.
Japan also has no junkyards. And so the parts are controlled by the people who have the cars. So if the car is 20 years old or 30 years old, there might be dismantlers that intentionally buy the crappy versions of the cars just to get all those parts and hoard them. You do not have access to that unless you have your own lot, which you don't because you're in Japan. And you probably don't want to dismantle cars either unless your intent is hoarding them and selling consoles for $2,000 as well.
I have to say, small aside, the prices jumped up insanely after COVID or during COVID.
For everything, right?
For Yahoo Auctions in particular. Like I used to browse for parts for my Legacy at the time and everything. Very, very, very affordable. Now, everything is rare and out of stock and limited and super rare and...
They even put it in the title.
Yeah.
Super rare.
Yeah, this is Yahoo Auctions. I assume it's the same in Canada and the USA, trying to buy used goods. Everything is... It's used, so now it's actually more expensive.
Right.
Very weird.
Altezza
speculation has become the way that so many people make their money. Because regular jobs don't pay enough, a side hustle helps you out, and then drop shipping / hoarding parts / PlayStation 5s become a way that people are trying to get money.
Yeah.
McDonald's Pokemon cards.
That's so sad. Anyways, I'm not trying to derail this. Just an example of people hoarding parts and then asking for insane markups.
Gregor said he just got some super rare NOS BB Crystal AC knobs.
What does that mean? That sounds like it's not English.
Translucent AC knobs for the BBs.
Oh, the same ones that we have.
I think that's it.
That's funny that you can still buy something like that. Show us pictures. We got the email address for that, show@pacificcoastjdm.com.
We will show pictures of your knob on the live show. Knobs. There's more than one.
I love the truck name that we're going to talk about later. It's one of my favorites.
Cobra was asking, so that scene in the 1991 Wangan Midnight film where they're craning the Devazir around the junkyard was staged? I mean, there's still junkyard.
This thing that we saw in a movie.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe this is a different topic, but Japanese junkyards are more like a dismantler's yard. And so if, like, I haven't really watched Wangan Midnight, so I don't really know the scene, but I suspect it was just like the car ended up at somebody's yard for dismantling, and then he ended up grabbing the car from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just no place that, because regular people don't maintain their own cars here. It's just very much not done.
Yeah.
Unless you're an enthusiast, and that's a very slim portion of the population. That's not enough to support a junkyard.
Yeah. I think the difference we're trying to get at is like a US or Western junkyard. You would go there are cars in various states of completeness, and you can go in there and you can pull parts off, and then you would check out and be like, I'm getting 2 headlights, a seat, an engine, all these other things that you take off yourself, which you can't really do here. At least not to my knowledge.
Right. Boy, those places are fun when you're a young car enthusiast, though.
Yeah.
You have those in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
how
great.
about Germany?
Nope. Maybe, but I've never been.
Pick a pot in New Zealand
or
used to be.
Pick and pull or something. Yeah. Okay, so the other half of that, the enthusiast restorations, usually fairly well done, depending on how it's done. But again, pretty hard to buy those at auction because of reasons, which I want to get into, but I don't think I want to get into it yet.
I think very simply, like if you spend that much money doing that level of restoration, you're taking it to a car show, you're listing it for sale privately, you're not sending that car to auction.
And they do show up at auction sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Like after somebody they do show up at auction, but they are hard to buy at auction.
Yeah, the prices that they want for them are usually the same as if you were at like a private show or something.
And sometimes the auction is used to spread awareness of a car that exists.
Yes.
We have seen that at the very top level.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I want to talk about mostly in this is the opportunist restorations. These are the pretend restorations. So somebody buys a car that's like 18 years old that has paint fade on it. They give it a shiny coat of paint and then sell it back to the auction as a way to make money. This is a business model. Buy a car from auction, paint a part, send it back to auction, get that money. And these types of restorations have become very, very popular because the cost of the cars has gone up so much in the last few years. It takes them usually 3 weeks or so for the whole process of buying, restoring, and sending back to auction. And the car quality is not what you think it is.
And varies widely.
And when they're trying to be making money, they're going to cheap out on things because this is not an enthusiast that's doing it. This is a business.
Yeah.
If you spend an extra $5 or $8 times the 100 cars that you do in that year, then this is going to add up. So everything is done as cheaply as possible.
Yeah.
This includes the seat covers that they put on and the lift that they put on the Land Cruisers and the paint that they do, and nobody preps the paint properly. Yeah. But the thing is, none of this is noticeable in the auction because the auction gives you a set amount of pictures and the auction inspector looks over the cars, but they don't really give you that expert eye that you would need to know if the restoration was done properly or if the paint job was done properly. And so we have to explain this frequently to a lot of people, like, ooh, this car looks great and it's got new paint. That's a plus.
I know painting a car is expensive, so it's already been done.
Right.
I'm saving money.
But on some side, there's nothing worse than a paint job that's been done poorly, especially if it involved rust repairs, because it's now more difficult to get back down to the point where you need to take it to if you want to have it done properly. It's the lipstick on a pig thing. And so we see people fall into this trap frequently. And don't get me wrong, there is reason to be buying these cars. If you want, you just need to know what you're getting into.
Can I throw in a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gregor was asking, are they doing that specifically for the export market, Or will other Japanese dealers buy those restored cars for the lots?
I think it's a little bit of both. We see these cars frequently at dealers here in Japan as well. So they're still buying into these cars, and they likely know what they're buying into, but they know that when it goes from selling from the dealer to the end user, there's also this disconnect of understanding what you're getting into, because your average car buyer will see the shiny car and the shiny paint, but won't go to, check under the sills or something like that. And your average knowledge of cars, of older classic cars in Japan, is well below what it is in places like the UK or probably Germany, where, people know what to look for an old car if you're an enthusiast. But here it's just like, oh, I love those lifted Land Cruisers. I want to grab one.
I don't think
but you don't know what you're getting into.
I just don't think people would ever look underneath their car. They'd be like, "What for? What?
Yeah,
what
why
reason?
am I doing that?
Yeah, I get in my car and I'll drive it. I'll look
It's like-
underneath it. We
Right.
hide something. Hide Easter eggs under there.
Oh, I saw this lifted Land Cruiser in Shibuya that night. It
Yeah.
really spoke to me. I need to get one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So-
a visual thing. And are we allowed to name company names?
You want to talk about Flex Auto, right?
Okay, we're allowed to name company names. So to answer the question, Flex is one of the biggest companies here who started doing it, who does a lot of it.
Can I
don't-
save you just a second? Because we're supposed to talk about Flex right after we talk about one other thing. I
Okay.
want to make sure that we talk about everything. You know how it is.
Well,
No,
Flex.
Mike.
No. They have a program where they will sell these cars to Japanese buyers.
Yeah,
Like it's
at
advertised
huge
on their
markups.
website. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they will either. I believe they have two options. You can either give them your car to do their Flex style modifications, the paint, removing things.
Can you
making
pull
it
up
look
picture
retro.
5, Max?
Yep.
Or I think they'll buy a car and do it in that thing and sell it to you. So it is very much a thing here. It's not purely for export. I think it probably started as a thing here, and then they realized, oh, people overseas also want it. Cool. And there's been tons and tons and tons of copycats. I don't really know who started it first.
I
but-
think the Flex Auto ones, I would give them a 7 out of 10. They tend to pick cars that are not too far gone.
yeah,
And they have been doing it for long enough that their efficiencies have started to pay off, that they can do the cars at a profit. And they sell these. They're known as being the modified Land Cruiser dealers.
yeah,
And they profit, like, after all costs and everything, $20,000 on each car.
yeah,
$25,000 on some of
it's
them,
heavy.
which gives them enough money to play around with. But because they've been so successful doing this, like Mike says, a lot of copycats have come in and tried to do it, and they're the ones that I trust less. But you don't know when a car is at auction whether
Yeah,
Flex did it or another of these knockoff brands did it. And so, very much so, you could be getting a car that the paint is going to start fading in 2 years, or the corrosion is going to start pushing through in the frame where they just
Yeah.
kind of like taped it over and then painted it, which
yeah. Big
can happen if
concern.
it's a bad shop. We've had some cars like that. That's why when a car is a especially vulnerable car, when you ask us about it, then we'll tell you, like, stay away from these 60 series Land Cruisers like
Boom.
this one
Yeah.
that's shown here. And 40 series Land Cruisers are probably the two that are most prone to this, because
Yeah.
they're at the age now. Like, these started in 82 to like 88 or something like that. By that time, all of them are rusty. So it's just a matter of how well was the repairs done to it.
I want to say more about the copycats, but
No,
can
go
you
on.
remind me with Ibaraki later on when it's relevant?
Actually, no.
All right. Thank you.
I got in here today having not done any of the planning for this. So I only had the hour and a half this morning to plan for it, including everything else, because Grant was off, so I had to pick the auction cars too.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a struggle. So if we're not super...
It's only like the way it's displayed, right? Like we have all the information, all the knowledge in our heads, but being able to present that nicely takes the extra time. You like how I switched that around?
Yeah.
Quickly, Max, go show picture number 4. I just wanted to show you a picture of this. This is the auction sheet from my Corolla. And if you take a look at the body diagram there, you can see there's almost nothing on it. There's A on both sides and A on the front and the back. This means a car that has been restored at one point, but has been driven because it has some scratches on it. And we don't know how long it's been driven, but this one absolutely wasn't repainted for the purpose of reselling.
Right.
And
wasn't still wet when it arrived at auction.
right. I went over the sheet, and it also had some extra pictures from the dealer, and we looked up the dealer that was selling it. It turns out that they are a specialist restoration shop, so this gave me more confidence in the condition. And if you look at a picture of the car, then you'll see it's just like quite a good looking car for the age, but still had all original parts on it. So if you have a restored car that is with original parts, you kind of think that the style of restoration is going to be a little bit more detailed to keep things original instead of to make things cool. So aftermarket wheels, lowered suspension, these sorts of things, aftermarket exhaust might lead you to believe that a less attention to detail was placed on it, and probably a little bit of a lower end restoration. So that gave me the confidence I needed, got the car, and I'm very happy with the condition of it. But I knew I took a risk. I could very well have bought this car, and I was expecting, and I've said this to the people in the office, I was expecting there's going to be some rust or corrosion somewhere. But to me, it's worth it to repair that rust once I received the car, and I didn't need to do that because there wasn't really too much. There was a little bit of a water leak with an inner panel that had come separated, and we've repaired that since. But otherwise, pretty happy with it. But I got lucky, I must say. And it, of course, needs a whole bunch of other things. The seats got replaced. The headliner needs to be replaced. It needs a new hood. It just got new brakes.
Yeah.
Full new exhaust.
The whole exhaust was replaced.
Steering rack.
The steering box. There is no steering rack on this car.
I will say though, like, although you say you got lucky, you went into it expecting to have to do all those things, and that's what you have to do if you're looking to purchase very, very old vehicles like this. You have to understand that you're going to need to do work on them. Don't hope to get lucky because you'll get burned. Just understand that this is a very old car. Old cars tend to fall apart. Be ready to put them back together.
The cars fall apart from 10 years old and up. So 50 years old, it's fallen apart. It's had 5 life cycles.
Yeah.
5 times fallen apart and put back together.
I wonder, this one's original mileage at 128,000 kilometers. So very, very low mileage for that time. So it was probably sitting in a shed somewhere for a very long time. Yeah. Kind of smells like it. It's got that vintage JDM vinyl smell. A very distinct smell once it off gases. Okay, so the auction. I want to talk about this. The auction is meant for being an efficient way for car dealers to buy and sell cars, to bring cars in or get rid of their cars. It is very much not designed to be the best place to buy a car that is older or has been restored. And because of this, that's being taken advantage of from some of the car dealers. We once got a car repainted, and the repainter said, "Do you want a good paint job or do you want an auction paint job?" Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And we were like, "What's an auction paint job?" And they're like, "Oh, as cheap as you can possibly do it because you intend to sell it at auction where the end user isn't going to be able to tell the quality of the paint job." And we were like, "Oh, so there's a term for this?"
Like, oh yeah,
that is regularly used. This must be an industry. And that's what we come to believe it is. So if you've seen a car that's recently been repainted, this is part of the reason why we say paint jobs in Japan aren't done very well. Like, yeah, there are good paint jobs here, but they're going to be pricey. And the cheap ones are going to be junky. And you'll see this on a lot of these repainted cars, especially those Flex Auto ones. Not necessarily Flex Auto, but the Flex Auto style, where they lift it up a little bit, put seat covers on it, give it a paint job. And then that paint job is going to be a 5 out of 10.
You can tell by the color, the wheels, and the lack of the trim pieces as they resto it down to its metal kind of look.
But it looks good at night driving.
They do look good.
Shibuya,
I don't like them.
I like
personally.
Them.
I prefer what's like.
You know what they are. You're able to see behind the plastic surgery.
Just looking at them. I like with the bull bars and the muscular kind of off-road look. I prefer that to the narrow, sleek.
Oh, the narrow thing's only new as of the last 3 years or so.
Okay, that's what I'm specifically.
Yeah, they're taking the wide fenders off and narrow-bodying them. Yeah. I agree.
Keep the wide fenders on. I like that.
Yeah,
very cool.
Okay, so should you avoid restored cars? Be careful. Be critical of them. Be hyper-critical and diligent in them. Ask your questions about it. Don't fall in love with the cars just based on the pictures. You're going to sell yourself a story of the condition of the car that's not going to be real. Assume the worst, like what I did, and then you can be happy if you got one that wasn't so bad, which does happen every once in a while.
Yeah.
Don't overestimate the condition and expect more restoration is needed, and get inspections on the cars. Just know that if you inspect a car that has had a restoration, the inspector isn't going to be the super expert on restored cars and is not going to necessarily be able to tell things like where body filler was used instead of like to cover rust and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think a big one also is if you see a car at auction and you're like, was this a proper restoration, an enthusiast restoration, or was it an opportunist restoration? It was an opportunist restoration. God, that's quite a mouthful to say.
98% of the time.
Yeah, like it's not going to have been that super quality restoration. They're not going to have patched up and removed all the rust and made sure everything was nice and clean before they coated the underbody and preventative. Like, it's not going to be that.
It's going to be worse.
Yeah, if the car had rust, it still has rust. If the car had damage, it still has damage.
Well, they'll grind the rust off and then body filler. But they won't, you will never see a shop that is opportunist restoring something and cutting the metal out and replacing it.
I'm more thinking like the underside and stuff. I don't even know if they're grinding off rust.
The underside.
They're just, right. They take the underside spray and they coat it. That's it. So if the rust was there, it's still there. It's just coated now. So be aware of that. We have bought cars that have been freshly restored and they look very nice and they're all lovely and clean, and then the 4-wheel drive system was broken. They were like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, nobody will be able to tell.
Yeah, we got our cookie cutter process. We do the paint, we do the wheels, we clean it, it looks good. We remove the trim, we sell.
It's basically like Pimp My Ride.
It is.
Except there's a basketball court in the trunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Heard you like basketball, huh?
Yeah. They very much do. They've got like their set process that they follow for every single car, and it's just copy, paste, 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 paste.
That's a good point, what Gregor was saying. I feel like if you can find info about the restoration, about that specific car, it was probably done by a good shop.
Sometimes you'll see that on the sheet, but it's pretty uncommon. Yeah. They'll say like 25 papers of the restoration process, including pictures or something like that.
Yeah.
That's going to be on your more special cars, though.
Yeah.
The ones that you're probably more likely to want to go see in person first. Yeah, on Land Cruiser, I wouldn't expect them to have that. This is more of a Fair Lady, Hakoska kind of thing.
Can you pull up that 60 series picture again?
Yep.
So if you were to look at this picture and you were to do like a reverse image search, you would find so many Land Cruisers, Prados, Surfs that look exactly like this. They have a color that is almost identical, or it's green, or what are some of the other ones they use?
They use all the original colors from the FJ Cruiser. The dusty blue, the army green, the beige.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, those colors are like, it's almost like the FJ Cruiser was what started everybody getting into these classic Land Cruisers here.
And you'll see those same wheels, those same tires.
Yeah,
they rub,
Dean
by
Racing.
the way.
Yeah, they always rub.
They rub on the fenders.
On the 70 series, they rub. On the, actually, I know they rub on the 70. I don't think they do on the 60 or 80.
Yeah.
But on the Prado as well, the 95 series, they will.
Yeah. And that, it's just copy paste. And I'm not saying this is bad, like, oh, definitely don't buy these vehicles. But yeah, eyes open and understand that there are going to be further issues, because there is a market for this. This is still a cool car.
Did you know PewDiePie has one?
He got given one for free.
Yep. Flex Auto was like, here, have a car. Yeah. And then PewDiePie's like,
marketing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Imagine being so famous that Flex Auto is like, here's a $50,000 car. Because that's how much they sell them for. I don't know which one, like the expense, or how expensive the one that they gave to him was. But they're usually like 4.5 million to 5.5 million.
Yeah. Yeah, big markups on them.
Yeah.
Do you think the overlap of viewers of this show is the same overlap as Chinese mobile games?
What?
The overlap of people who watch the show also play Chinese mobile games.
I don't get it.
We've gotten a marketing email like, hey, do you want to do an ad for us?
Genshin Impact, apparently.
Was it Genshin Impact?
I don't know if it was then, though. Wasn't it a scam? Like, it wasn't.
But we don't know. Yeah, every now and then we get those.
If you are a Chinese mobile game producer, please contact us. We would love to do the thing where it's like, wow, I got 10 free coins just by downloading. I'm kidding. Anyway, moving on.
I think that if we ever did advertising like that, I think that everybody would be like, what happened to Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be fun to
Make
mess
fun of
around
those
with.
things?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they'd be like, we don't want to do business with you then because you just mocked
I
us.
always thought it would be fun to do a fake ad. Be like, oh yeah, we can show your product on our
Yeah.
YouTube channel, and then just destroy them, and then go, what? You told us to review your product.
Yeah.
Okay, so restored cars at auction. If you see a Land Cruiser like this one, beware. That's by far the most popular restored car. I think that when it comes to other types of cars, people are a little bit more understandable, but they see Land Cruisers, they know Land Cruisers last forever, and they think, oh great, this one's probably fine, even though it's that old, and it looks great, and it's shiny, and you don't know what you're getting into. Yeah. So just, I mean, some people do know what they're getting into. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Let's go to the next segment. I think we have beat that one to death.
Is this still on Resto's Cars? Are you finishing that?
You want to say something?
Yeah, the Ibaraki one. We found a place in Ibaraki that does these resto mod restorations,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a lot of, like, I want to say like 50 unrestored Prados, Surfs, Land Cruisers just lined up in this massive lot. Probably more than 50 actually, maybe 70 to 100.
Wow.
And a giant warehouse where you could see these cars lined up, like, going through this process.
Like an assembly line.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a factory with doors on both sides, the huge lot full of cars, and they would just drive in, do the paint, do everything that they do, drive out, and then they go to, like, the finish section. So the scale of this is real, and that's just one company, one maybe copycat, maybe it was Flex, I don't remember now. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it
that
might
we
have
found
been
them,
a company that's contracted out by Flex to handle the higher volume that they're going through, because they're doing like hundreds of these per month.
Yeah, like it's tons of them. It's not just a guy who's like, I'll do one, and then once I've done that, I'll do another. They're like, no, we're buying like 50 of these Land Cruisers at auction. We'll get them all delivered to our place that is outside of a major center where land is cheap, and we can set up this shop. And then they've, I don't know, getting paint delivered by the ton or something. And yeah, they've just got guys doing the same thing over and over again, churning them out.
It sounds soul crushing to me.
Yeah.
But very profitable.
But it's cool, right? Like, there are people in Japan and people overseas. Like, we've got people in the chat who buy these, and they're desired. So you're giving people something that they want, and you do get economies of scale. They can do it a lot cheaply when they're doing 100 of them, as opposed to one shop doing one every now and then.
Yeah,
which is the perfect segue to our sponsor. Pacific Coast
Clash on Titans.
We get a lot of
Titans?
I can't remember what that game is called, but
yeah, we get a lot of great ideas for collaboration and advertising in the chat, which we want.
It's kind of the same with that Skyline, you know? There was a shop buying the R34s, the automatics.
Oh, right.
And then
swapping to manual, painting them to look like GTRs in Bayside Blue, and then sending them to auction.
And like now, those cars are worth tons of money when they would have cost like 700,000 yen, 1 million yen to make. And at the time, they were selling them for like 2 million because we bought a number of them.
No, they were 2.5 million. 2 to 2.5 million. Yeah.
And now they're, I don't know, 5 million, 6 million or something.
They're probably getting $7,000 or $8,000 per car that they restored, and they just did them like clockwork. They all had the same stupid parts on them. Yeah.
I will say a small note, sorry to drag this out a little more, but you'll be able to tell the sellers who do this frequently. Grant knows really well there are sellers in like the Nagoya area, and he sees their auction sheets every week, and it's always same handwriting, same sales points. It's like the GI gear ones that he notices for the Delicas. And it's always the same shop, and they'll just put like their catalog of parts on. Buy a Delica, catalog of parts, I don't know, change the wheels. I don't even think they paint them, and then sell. And you'll see them every week. So if you're looking for something like that, and then you see one of those, just know that they're churning them out. I'm not saying don't buy them. I'm just saying keep your eyes open. Beware.
We got the experts here at Pacific Coast Auto helping you.
Yeah.
This is me, the marketing voice from the background.
We see thousands of cars every day. We are your trusted partner, ranked 5 stars by us. I don't know. All those websites are like, who's the best export in Japan? And it's like company name. And then I go to the URL and I'm like, hey, that's you guys. You can't do that.
Okay,
but
next
we
segment.
can.
Yeah.
I want to talk briefly. Okay, before I talk briefly, mixing up L's and R's is something I do all the time now that I've been living in Japan for a while. And I thought it was so weird that that has become a thing for me.
Derek-san, you are fully integrated. Congratulations.
Does that happen to you? Like, I don't even speak Japanese that well, but
I forget.
It happens. I get my L's and R's. I just did it, right?
Yeah. I just forget
Briefly.
words.
I want to talk about this briefly. Wow, I sound racist. I want to talk about manual transmission cars because you want a manual transmission Skyline or a manual transmission Chaser. You are now spending 30 grand for that car. That's more than that car cost when it was brand new. And the key figure there is the fact that it is a manual transmission, an original manual, right? So what's going on? Why are we not able to get manual transmissions in all these cars when some idiots are spending 30 grand to get their Chaser with a manual now? Like Toyota, come on. Honda, come on. You just came out with the new Prelude. No manual option in that car. Like, thank you for some cars like the Fairlady to have a manual. And I get it that not many people are buying the manual cars when it's a new car. And the issue here is that people who buy new cars are a different type of person than people who buy used cars. And so anyone who buys new cars, you guys are the problem. Did you know that 98% of people in Japan buy automatic transmissions in their cars?
Wow.
That's only 2% of all cars that are sold have manuals.
But the Type R has a manual, sports car. You can buy it brand new. The price is very reasonable. Sold out. Like, you can't, they do not accept new orders for those Type Rs. There's tons that come through auction that people are buying, but so it works, but it depends, I think.
I'm just mad. I want those manual transmissions, and in another 10 or 15 years, it's going to be nothing. The last wave of popular manual transmissions happened in the 90s. After the 90s, everything turned, except for in England. We looked up the stats, and for whatever reason in England...
And South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, huge percentage of people buy manual transmission. It's like more than automatics. I don't have
Canada,
the stats.
US, Japan, all 98% automatics.
Yeah.
But in the UK and in South Africa, it's like 60% still drive manuals.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think more in South Africa. It's like 80 or 90. Like, I asked my auntie when I saw her last, and she was like, you get manual transmission in South Africa. Everyone does it. Everyone knows how to drive it. It's like a cultural thing or something.
I feel like we're going to see a regime change. This USA being the #1 country in the world is going to change, and it's going to have to do with automatic transmissions. All of these countries, UK is back in business. Hopefully they're not going to go around colonizing anymore. Maybe they've learned their lesson. But the manual transmissions, I think, are going to save the world and then change the power dynamic.
No. I think we're done with manuals unless they're like the sports car. Like, if it's a Type R, the top of the line sports car for the thing, you'll get a manual. If it's not, you're not getting
Nobody's
a manual.
buying sports cars anymore, and it seems like it's an image thing. And I think that's part of the reason why manual transmissions are gone away.
I think, especially when you look further into the future, everything's gonna be electric, and you don't have transmissions in electric cars.
That's
gonna be the end.
I want an electric car with a transmission.
The
That'd
original
be
Tesla Roadster had a 2-speed electric, I believe.
The Taycan has a 2-speed.
There you go. Go with Porsche.
Yeah.
If I was going to get an electric car, the Taycan is appealing. It's just a little on the large size side for me.
But I think the problem is what you've discussed before, which is enthusiasts usually don't buy new cars. They want the value. And then, so we're screwing ourselves. Like, have you ever bought a new car?
No.
Me neither. You have.
I would never buy a new car.
Yeah,
you were trying to save the world.
Yeah.
Good job.
We need incentive programs to save the manuals. We need to convince governments that, you used to get $5,000 of tax rebate if you had an electric car, right? Yeah. Electric cars are good for the world, but I'm arguing that manual cars are also good for the world. Stops distracted driving, right? Or it doesn't stop it, but lowers it. Lowers the amount of eating in the car, which is another way that people get distracted.
Raises the skill level of drivers because it is more difficult.
And people care more about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
People are happier after, I drive a manual car. I'm happier for the rest of the day. I think, everyone is so angry on the internet these days. They're probably driving automatics and getting pissy about it. Road rage will probably go down,
Yeah, because I'm too busy. I'm shifting gears.
right?
How about we approach Honda or Toyota and say for every manual car you sell, we
We'll
will
give you a
plant
sticker.
5 trees.
You can
And
get
we
a
do an
cool JDM
environmental
car sticker. Someone at Toyota wants that.
Okay, stickers and trees.
Email us.
I'm not sure why you brought that up. Just
The
because you
manuals?
want more manuals?
I was just looking at statistics a couple of weeks ago, and I was like baffled by how different it is in Europe as it is in the rest of the world. And I get it. Like in North America, so many people want pickup trucks for whatever reason. They're terrible in my opinion. I love a good pickup truck. I hate all of the modern pickup trucks that just got really big and really inefficient because fuel economy standards don't account for them, and everyone wants a big V8 and, you know, I'm manly, I got a truck. Older Toyota trucks, huge fan. Once the trucks got big and useless as trucks, not a big fan. I'd much rather have a K truck if I wanted to actually do some work, or something other cab over style, 3 sides bed truck. But yeah, none of those trucks come in manual transmissions, and as a result, there's no chance for you to drive a manual if you also want one of those trucks. So
Greg said electric car, daily driver, gas-powered fun cars. And I think that's true for now, but
I think
no manufacturer is going to want to build a fun car for a few people.
And realistically speaking, the electric car is the better power plant in every single way.
No. That is completely not
How
true.
about fun?
You had me
But I
until you
agree.
said in every single way. It's more efficient, it's more powerful, and the torque is down lower. Those are all very big wins for electric cars. The motor has no personality.
Powertrain. I was just talking about the specs,
engineering,
engineering and how it delivers the power.
Yeah.
The fun part,
Doesn't
that's why I don't
exist.
drive an electric car.
And the packaging too, right? Electric cars have to be heavier,
Yeah.
and as a result are going to be less tossable and less fun in the corners. But yeah, I do believe electric cars are really going to be taking over, and some manufacturers are going to sell enthusiast cars, but it's always going to be Porsche selling to the rich boys. And then
Honda.
cheap enthusiast cars are going to be few and far between. And then Honda's coming out here with a Prelude that absolutely sucks in almost every single way, when they should be going, we had this market in the 70s and 80s and 90s. We were the go-to for the cheap performance cars with the gasoline engines. And they're throwing it all away because they want to have a Prelude that costs 6 million yen.
If anybody's seen the new Prelude, please let me know your thoughts.
I've seen it.
We are bitterly disappointed by it.
I saw one in person.
And its price. It's more expensive than the Type R.
And much slower. And a hybrid.
And
Next segment, guys.
The next segment
segment.
is our picks for cars, which we call car picks.
we picked some cars for you. We're going to show them to you.
We have 4 cars that were at auction or are at auction right now. This one actually is at auction today. Is that right?
Greg has funny comments. I love it.
This is 11th. Today's the 10th? When's the
10,
11th?
yeah.
At auction tomorrow. Okay. So I picked all of these ones, and I'll tell you why I picked them. This is a Toyota Crown 6th generation. Can you believe a car that looks this old is already the 6th generation?
Yeah. Sweet.
These look so cool.
So very cool. Now you can get this with a range of engines, including natural gas, diesel. You can get this with the Hilux engine, or a number of 2-liter to 2.8-liter engines. This one here is a 2-liter. I don't know which engine it is. It says it's the this is the 2-liter inline 6-cylinder because it's an MS117V. So that means the M engine, which is like the 7M, 5M. 5M is a 2.8 liter, if I recall correctly. So this one's probably an M engine, which is a 2-liter. Rear wheel drive, bench seats. So 6-seater, and so you get to have one of your kids in between the 2 seats in the front.
He's hoarding parts. We found him. Parts hoarder.
Those look like, wait, what are those?
Parts hoarder. He's got
can't tell
2
what any
big
of those
boxes
are.
of parts he's collected over
I don't know.
2 decades. Side skirts?
So this is
I don't know.
when I said this is the van version of it, this was actually a commercial vehicle at one point in its life.
Maybe one of those window shades.
And so you ended up with like vinyl seats instead of the fabric seats, and then vinyl bed covering, and usually bars over the windows. This one has not been restored, and so you get to know exactly how bad the corrosion is. If you look at that diagram, it has C2 and C1 everywhere, which is a shame.
Ouch.
But I feel like the coolness of this Crown Wagon is definitely there enough that this could be restored by somebody who buys it themselves and does the work themselves.
Yeah.
Shop's not making any money on this. I think it's I think last week it got bid up to 575,000 yen. So 545,000 yen. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably they'd be willing to go 600, 650, somewhere around there, which is a lot considering the condition, but you're really not seeing too many of these around. And one of the key things about being a car enthusiast is having that cool car that nobody's seen, where people are like, whoa, what is that? What am I looking at?
Especially with the wheels.
I
The
do
white
like
walls?
those wheels a lot.
Yeah, it's cool style.
And see how the
Yeah.
lugs are kind of like on their own extended plane on the steel wheel with the chrome rings. Cool.
Yeah.
We got
Oh.
some pickups and drop-offs in like 30 minutes. So
Are you going
just
to
letting you know. I
go
have
up for
to
that?
go, yeah.
What's Jacob doing?
He's at the port.
Oh,
Yeah.
doing work, I guess. 30 minutes, eh? Okay. Might have to do questions by myself. On to the next one.
Just a reminder, if anyone in this stream buys one of the cars, they
Oh.
get a free video done by me.
So wait, these are all pre-approved by you?
Everything is going to be pre-approved because I have given the okay.
Oh.
I have made that decision on Max's
Were you okay
behalf.
with this, Max?
Yeah, he's my boss.
Well, I guess you have to be okay with it.
Next car that you might buy.
Okay,
for a
this
video.
one we'll talk only about it for 15 seconds.
No way, this deserves more than 15 seconds.
On my list,
That's
the
cool.
Suzuki Carry was next.
Oh,
But we can do this one next. This is an EG6 Civic. If you guys don't know, in Japan, they saved the best engine for themselves. A much better engine. In North America, I think it was somewhere around 110 horsepower. But here in Japan, VTEC,
VTEC, baby.
160 horsepower from a 1.6 liter. The iconic EG6. Seen at racetracks, amateur racetracks all across Japan. Maybe not so much nowadays because of the age of them. This
And
one
the
looks like it
price.
has been through a bunch. But price to winnings ratio is pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
You buy this or the Civic Type R, you're spending a lot of money, but you do have a car that isn't going
Yep.
to be... like, you're never going to feel like, oh, I should have got this car because
Yeah.
of X reason. These are faster than everything on the track. Like, these are faster than GTRs on most tracks.
How much they want for it?
unless you have your right hand taped to the steering wheel.
Initial D reference.
That was an
Oh,
initial D
yeah.
reference, yeah.
I'm
seen
not sure how
it.
much they want. It is a race car, so probably...
I think this is the best way to get one because people are like, oh, race car? No, I don't want that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I want it.
EG6s are so cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one.
Yep.
But they're still, I think even now the race cars are expensive too.
I would
Like,
think over $1 million for this.
I was going to say they probably want over $1 million. The start bid is like,
And it's been at
600.
auction, so they're going... This is the third time it's been at auction,
Yeah.
meaning that they're going to want a higher amount than people are willing to bid for the last 2 weeks. Mileage is pretty low, though.
Yeah,
Look at
99,000, right?
99,000. But also 99,000 on a racetrack is a little bit different.
Yeah. This car
If-
doesn't get used until it gets used really, really hard.
The seat to me is not very buckety,
No.
so maybe not race car, more like Wangan car.
I stripped interior. Maybe. It
Could-
is in
it could be
Nagoya,
dual
so
purpose,
Yeah,
right?
it's definitely been on the Wangan. Wait, is it registered?
Wait, Nagoya? Wangan? No.
Well, it's like that
I
area,
suspect
you
that
know?
somebody had this as their daily and their race car.
Yeah, like the
Like a young
this
Yeah.
car
kid.
needs to do all.
Yeah.
Just like
And then when they grew up and had a family, they're like, I can't have that anymore.
B16A sales point.
Yeah, one of
Cool
the
thing.
all-time greatest.
Anyways.
The only thing that
I've
beats that is
swooned
a
enough.
Civic Type R, Mike.
Oh, that's me.
Yours isn't the hatchback,
Nah.
so not as good.
Yeah.
Funny to think.
I don't have
yours.
UK9
Yours
money.
is fantastic. Nothing against your car at all.
Oh, you're about to say something against my car. I'm not listening.
The EK9 is the better car.
Yeah.
and is more expensive now.
You need to drive both back to back.
10 years newer. I'd love to, actually. A 10-year newer car, and then it still costs 30% more for an EK.
Yeah, the EK9 is worth more than mine.
Isn't that
Same
crazy?
condition. Yeah, it's crazy.
So the real test would be the EK9 Civic versus your car plus $10,000 invested into it.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
ITB kit, maybe. You know?
All right. Let's do a video about that. You pay for the... You sound good, yeah.
We can absolutely not afford to pay for that.
Nope.
Let's go see the next one. The only reason I brought this up is because it has a really funny name. So this is the Suzuki Carry Truck Deep Bottom Dump.
I don't get it. Can you explain?
Deep Bottom Dump.
Huh. I'm starting to paint a picture in my mind.
Like cavernous. You can load up the back and then you can just dump it. And you get more space. You can dump more stuff because it's the deep bottom one. Okay, on to the next car.
Not much more to say about that. Oh, this is your car.
This was my dream car for probably about 5 years or so.
Oh, that's why it's on the list.
One of these, and that's why it is on the list. And this one's actually not too bad, but a good condition Soarer is very hard to find now. The Soarers became popular in drifting, and then people drove them sideways into walls, and then they're like, "Oops, it's a cheap car. It doesn't matter." Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then your $2,000 Soarer with a 1JZ is now in good condition, $25,000.
Yeah.
And it is a shame because I absolutely thought that this was going to be a car that I would buy once I moved to Japan, but one thing leads to another. Derek didn't get his Soarer, and now they were more expensive than I want to pay for them. And so, maybe there's a version of my life where Pacific Coast Auto becomes so profitable that I can just throw money away, and then I can drop 50 grand is what they're going to cost in another 15 years. Drop 50 grand on a 1990s Toyota. The reason I liked these is because this generation of Toyota was so much further past the previous generation. The early 90s for Toyota was very unique. The styling had moved from boxy to sleek. We were starting to get computers inside the cars that, this had a TV. First ever Toyota with a TV inside it, like a touch screen. So cool. The styling of it, the twin turbo engine that you got in it, even the North American version that didn't get the twin turbo engine, still incredibly cool. Rear wheel drive, sleek, looks great modified, looks great stock. Big fan. Not a big fan of how small they are in the interior, to be honest. Door cards don't last, dashboards don't last, which are two things that can be a little bit hard to come by if you're looking to restore them. The engines can be a bit finicky, but at least a lot of people know about them. Gauge set looks awesome. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for the 80s. This is because it is the era that I grew up in. But I'm starting to get this nagging feeling like the 90s are starting to look appealing to me in a classic car kind of way. Okay, that's all I have to say about that.
I'd love to try one of those with a V8. But I want a manual.
Yeah, V8 didn't come with a manual.
Yeah.
Max is ready to show something. So
Okay.
This is your segment.
Next segment.
This week at PCA. Did you like that? Try to put on a weird voice.
That's really good. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right.
Unless someone was like falling asleep watching the show and then they heard that and they're like, wow, what the?
Yeah. I'm just waiting
What have
for
you
you
done?
to start.
I can talk about this. Okay. Then let's have a look. We published a video.
Whoa, PCA doing the video things.
The
We're showing
Fit
analytics.
versus Swift video, and it's performing very well.
Look at that.
Like, does that mean they like it?
So I think this video is awesome, and I think that it was put together very well. The video doesn't have the title that I would expect to be a breakout video. Now, this is, at the moment, our second most popular video that we've put on. Our first most popular was my Corolla reveal.
And this is on the Drives Japan YouTube channel, correct?
That's right.
That is
Okay.
the plug.
Just making sure.
Drives Japan.
So this is the Fit versus the Swift, two of Grant's cars, because he's getting rid of the Fit and then moving over to the Swift. And we made a 30-minute long video, which is like a comparison between the two. It's outside of our normal wheelhouse because we don't usually do this sort of comparison video, but I think it came together really well, and it looks like people like it. One thing I must say that shocked me a little bit, Max, and we've talked about this, the click-through ratio was about 3.5% for the first day. So this is going to be our subscribers.
Is that about average?
For here.
It's a little for great video, it's a little bit low, but it's well above the PCA average, and it's about what you expect from the Drives Japan channel, maybe a little bit higher. Okay?
Yep.
But then, so this first day are mostly our subscribers that are going to be viewing it, right?
Sure.
And then after that, the click-through ratio went up to like 5.5% for the second, third, fourth day.
It stayed there.
It's just a little bit weird, right?
Wait,
just like our subscribers are not interested in the video.
So if you're watching the live stream, you probably don't like the video, but other people did.
Just to explain it, the click-through rate is how many percent of people click on the video and watch it for 30 seconds when the video was displayed in their feed.
30 seconds, right?
Yeah, you need to watch it for a bit. So
I didn't know that.
5.5% at the moment, I think, of people who were shown the video watched it for 30 seconds.
We're like, yep.
Yeah. And the amount of push this gets from YouTube, and it's exponential push at the moment, with the 5%, maybe we have something here that could go.
It's pretty funny. It says watch time, hours, 322. 272 more than usual.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a huge
But
amount.
also that's a little bit skewed because we just went a month and a bit without having any views other than a few shorts viewed. And so our average view per video is much lower because they don't take
this is the watch time for this video, and it takes this into consideration of from published till now and compares that with the same time frame of the other videos.
Every video on your channel?
Yep.
Every video?
Like
that doesn't sound right.
If
you've got a channel that's 15 years old, say, and it was very popular at the beginning but crashed for the last 10 years, your statistics would be completely skewed if you were just going off of the entirety of your channel instead of the last year or so.
Yeah, but I mean, you can change that in the settings.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
42 subscribers is great.
So the view to subscriber ratio is very good. And I get it, like it's 2,000 something views. It's not like almost all the videos that everybody watches are going to be higher than that, but for us, that feels good. Yeah. Because we're just waiting for the channel to get more popular, and hopefully we can look back at these times and go, haha, 2,000 views, not very much. And a video like this is how we get there. So if we keep putting out videos that people like, we're going to get more subscribers, we're going to get bigger. It's going to be awesome. It's all going to be Max's thing too.
And we can do advertisements for Chinese mobile games.
No, we can do
Clash on Titans. Download now and get 3 gold coins for free.
And as far as I know, and maybe Grant can correct me if I'm wrong, but the car hasn't sold yet.
No. So if you want to buy the Fit, it is still available.
So there's information on the Fit at the end of that video, or I also sent out an email to a bunch of people. I don't know if all the viewers got that, but there's like a mailing list that we have that we sent that out to. If you are interested in buying the car, send us an email. We can send you information if you don't know about things. We have some extra pictures about it, pictures of the car and whatnot. We can fill you in on the condition as well.
Grant would like it to go to someone that will enjoy the car rather than if we had to sell it back at auction or something like that. So
he would love
there you go.
If it goes to someone who watches the show.
And then Max will make you a personalized video.
That is already up on the Drives Japan YouTube channel.
Yeah, now that you've already done one video on it, it'd be weird to do another one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Mike and I get in the trunk of the Fit and the Swift.
Oh, definitely watch it now.
Yeah.
If you haven't already.
It's like the 7th car that we've done, or 8th maybe.
We've been in a few trunks together.
I always use the same music too. Okay.
Next topic, I just got to quickly talk about my car. Here's a picture of the car in case you didn't know which car I drive. 1972 Corolla. I'm going to show my car as much as I can because I love it. And this was from this is just a screen cap of the video that we put on the Drives Japan channel.
Drives Japan YouTube channel? Sorry, I'm done. I have to find it funny.
I just got it back from the shop. It was there for far too long, 3 weeks to get the brakes replaced. The car has 13-inch wheels on it, so the brakes are not that strong to begin with. It is drums in the back and non-vented discs in the front, so they don't have a very big heat capacity. And so I felt like the discs that were on there just were not very good. I complained about it before when we went out for a drive. I talked about it on the Cool JDM show. So I got new discs, new pads. Pads are an upgraded pad, just an ever so slightly upgraded pad to be a little bit more frictionable. Yeah.
Frictionosity.
Got the rear shoes replaced, got the brake hoses replaced, and a few of the brake lines that were in rough condition. So now I feel a little bit more confident coming into the corner, a little bit hotter, but still no power brakes. So
we're going to go driving now, because now
I'm ready.
Grant has a new car. Max has a whole bunch of stuff. Have we even talked about? Whoa, that's coming up next. All right. You say that first before I go on.
Yeah. So 130,000 yen to get that fixed. That's $1,000. So that puts me up to $3,500 I've spent on it. Exhaust seats. No, probably more than that. 4,500. Okay. We're getting.
I'm going for those pickup and drop-offs.
We're getting hand signals here.
Yeah, we did
Jacob's
see
message. Well,
No, there's a jump box in the white BB. Yeah.
I think he took it yesterday.
The white one?
Yeah.
Racist.
Because he misplaced the others, I think, or they have gone walkabout.
This is live. Working at Pacific Coast Auto. Overcoming challenges.
Well, while you're figuring that out, Max can talk about why he is low down.
I have a jump box at home. Like my own little.
Go check in the white BB. I just saw it yesterday. Did he really take it this morning?
I don't know. Grant, do you have time to check the white BB for box in between bids? Right. All right. I'll see.
Right.
Okay.
Max, tell us about your car upgrades.
I put in a seat. I found a seat.
A personalized seat.
Yeah, because
you can go to the store and they'll embroider
Max.
your name into the back of the seat.
Yeah, as long as your name is Max or Low.
This is a bright Zeek for wide because I have thick thighs.
Oh yeah, thick thighs saves lives.
No, the normal bright seats are quite slim, and I didn't want a seat in my car that was too uncomfortable to go on trips. But I still wanted to get that bucket seat because I just wanted to do it. And this one came up at Up Garage. It was used, and I had to jump on it.
How much you pay for that?
What, $800?
$800? It's not bad, actually.
Yeah,
I think retail for these was like $160 or something.
The FRP version new is 130,000 yen. Okay. Plus 30,000 yen for the seat rail, which I had to buy new because otherwise it's not legal. So.
I see.
I'm in for like $1,000 for the seat.
I will never have a full bucket seat in a car that I drive on the street. I think it is too much of a pain in the butt to get in and out of. So
I'll see how that. Yeah.
How many times have you driven your car since you put the seat in?
3 times.
Did you have to remove the steering wheel each time to get into it?
Yes.
Wait, do you have a picture of that?
Nah, you can see it a little here. There's like the
Max also got a quick
steering wheel on the seat.
Because this is something that I absolutely cannot do in Germany. I was like,
yeah,
gotta have that.
This is the JDM car dream.
Right.
Yeah. I just
Tokyo
think it's
Drift,
cool, like
steering wheel on the back deck.
And getting out.
I'm totally with you on that.
It doesn't even bother me as an extra strap because I think it's just cool.
Are you happy with the comfort of it?
So far, yeah.
I feel like we have this same seat in our Lupo race car, and Mike was not a big fan of it. Because
I can't fit. I'm too
Mike
fat.
felt hunched over in this seat.
That too, yeah.
No, but this is a Zeek. The one in the Lupo was a Zeta, and they have different seating style.
Oh, pardon me. Oh, I didn't know that. So
the Zeek is more hunchback, so it's more rounded.
Yeah.
And the Zeta is more like a flat, upright seating position.
Okay.
So wait, this is a Zeta?
This is a Zeta.
Zeta.
No, this is a Zeek. Sorry, this is a Zeek.
Which one's the more upright one?
The Zeta that we have in the office here.
Okay. Usually I prefer more upright, but I'm looking forward to seeing, trying sitting in your seat because we suffer from the same thick thigh saves lives problem.
Yep.
So
And with this one, you don't only sit on your butt, but it also puts some weight on the lower back, so it's more distributed, which I quite enjoy so far.
cool.
I'll do a trip to Kyoto soon, and then see.
Yeah,
good.
you haven't done any spirited driving in it, have you?
No, not yet.
Looking
Derek
forward to
can
more
talk about
reviews.
the next thing, and then maybe Mike, you need to go.
I'll do the. Can I do this? I know about it, unless
please
you
do,
want to.
because I don't know too much about it.
Okay, so the next segment is going to be announced.
Wait,
when
we have
Max
something
is
else that I'm
ready.
gonna put on the screen that Derek can talk about.
Oh.
Oh,
right.
it's this. I don't have a note about this.
Yeah, I crammed this in right at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so if my wife watches this show, I'm going to buy her this. This is a snack in Japan. It is her favorite snack of all time. Now, last time I asked her if she watched the show, she could get free chiffon cake. She didn't watch the show, so no free
Still
chiffon
no
cake.
show
But
watching.
if she
huh?
watches this show, she can get a whole box of choco pie. It comes with 10 of them in one box. They're fantastic. If you have a chance to come to Japan, try out the choco pie. We would like to send these to our customers, and we actually did once for a Christmas present thing,
Yeah.
but they are easily crushable, and so not easy for us to send out with the document package. Fantastic, though. One of the best sweets here.
Yep.
Also, small aside, Morinaga makes a competing brand called like the chocolate ghetto.
Yeah.
The Morinaga ones, to me, are superior.
Oh, really?
I much prefer them. But these are good.
Okay, next segment.
Next one.
Next segment is Shit and Showdown. But we don't have any entries, so the show is cancelled.
So
We are
next
not popular
segment
enough
is-
in order-
Yeah. Little bit disappointed. Nobody sent in their cars for us to show on the show. No stories, no videos, no nothing.
We do have an
So-
almost thing. They didn't send it in for the show, but they sent it in for us to look
Right.
at, and we can show it in this segment.
Yeah. So we don't have a Ship and Showdown, but we have something Ship and Showdown adjacent. So we have a customer in Canada who purchased a car for somebody, and that car is a Porsche Cayenne Turbo, and it has gone a full restoration in
With
a very
1,000-hour restoration.
a 1,000-hour restoration. Now, the restoration is for a competition in Canada. It is the, I hope I'm getting this name right. I did write it down. It's from Porsche Canada, and they're running their 2025 Porsche restoration competition. So dealerships all throughout Canada took a Porsche Cayenne and
For the
Porsche
30-year anniversary.
Cayenne.
Wait, 25-year anniversary? Wait, how many years?
I think it's
20 year?
20, must be 20.
That sounds right.
But and they all of these different dealerships, moved in a different direction and did cool restorations. So do we have a link there that people can have a look at?
The YouTube video, or
Yeah, we can.
just play the
whichever
start
you
of it
like.
so they can see what the car looks like.
Yeah.
Then we'll do the. Oh.
So if you want to play that, can I talk while that's going on? People probably hear it in the background. So this is the Porsche Center in Vancouver, and they did a restoration along with Gavin Ma there, and it is sick.
I don't have audio on anymore because
Yeah.
I think we can just talk about it.
Yeah, but you can see it's got a full Golf livery, which our customer was involved with doing and arranging and making sure it looked awesome.
It's actually a pseudo copy of Jerry Seinfeld's Golf livery because it uses the topographical map in the blue, but then they used the mountains around Vancouver for the map instead.
Yeah, and they explain that in the video, and they explain a lot about the restoration, and it's very cool. And I didn't send you a picture of the car before it was restored, did I?
No, we don't. Yeah, no.
Dang. Sorry about that. But the car is currently in the running with all of the other Porsche dealerships who did the restorations for their Cayennes, and it is an Instagram competition. So if you would like to support a customer of PCA and a vehicle that we exported, Max has there on the screen now the Instagram post. you can either travel to the Porsche Canada page and see their competition, or what's the hashtag? Porsche Classic Restoration 2025. If you search that hashtag, it will bring up this post. If you would like to support the customer, you can vote on that Instagram page, and you just have to type in Porsche Center Vancouver. Or if you liked one of the other Porsches, you can see there. They all have their own entries into the competition. So
Yeah.
I think there's actually going to be a big event where they're going to have all of these cars in Toronto, and that's where they're going to announce the winner. Competition is only open until the 13th of September, so you have another three days or so to vote. But yeah, please vote if you'd like to support a customer, support PCA, or support cool builds.
I see that they have they're all first generations. Some of them are pre-facelift and some of them are post-facelift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Any
what
of the shops who
criteria were.
use the pre-facelift, that was a dumb move to do because it looks way better, the post one. You're not going to win if you pick the cheaper pre-facelift one that looks
Yeah.
stupid. Not that one.
Interesting
I
to
think
see
there was
that,
only one that I noticed.
like, most people did off-road builds, and there were some that did.
There it is.
I think that's cool, though.
There's another one. There's another one.
They were like, "Look, we want to enter the competition,
But we just don't have so much money."
Yeah, we'll do it on the cheap."
You know what? So they said 500 labor hours from the techs at Porsche to put it together, and the other 500 were other various people
Yeah.
in the project. But 500 Porsche hours? That's like
Not
100
cheap.
grand
Yeah.
just in labor, not including the parts that they
Yeah.
have spent on it.
I do have to go soon, so I'll just finish this off quickly. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to mention, but do check out the video. This show was about restoration, so this kind of ties in nicely. They did like an enthusiast restoration, a full restoration. They had, I think they were going into the fact that Porsche has some updated parts for their older vehicles, so you can buy these parts from Porsche where you can transplant in like a new a head unit with Apple
Yes.
CarPlay or Google
I see.
Android and stuff. So
Man, maintaining an
Yeah.
old Cayenne like that, especially for a twin turbo one, like
Yeah.
ours was, right?
yeah. Was.
Yikes, I would not want to spend that kind of money.
But
Yeah.
as we learned, this is now a Porsche Classic.
Yeah, it's part
And
of their
it's a
classic program.
with
So
classic
even
parts.
more money.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, you need to go do things.
Yes, I need to go.
Say
Very sorry.
adieu to everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. It's been a pleasure, but I have to go and do work things.
So, I'm here with Derek Weldon.
You can answer
Bye-bye.
questions too. Even
Yeah.
if you don't know the answer, just be confident and people will believe you.
Oh yeah, that's a common theme nowadays. Do you
Right.
want to announce? No, I will announce the segment.
Go ahead.
Q&A. There we go. Did he finish his milk?
I just wanted to make sure he finishes milk. I think it's adorable that Mike drinks milk every episode.
It's the milk, Mike. Mike, milk, Mike,
Okay,
milk.
so
Yeah.
go ahead, ask the questions, and I will give you the
Q&A.
answers.
As we said in the beginning of the show, there were a lot of questions asked in the comment section of the last stream. And for those who are here, I have taken screenshots of the chat, and we'll go through the chat questions asked so far and not been answered yet in this segment. And the first question comes from Landmasters. He's looking for a previously sold Altezza Gitas on the auction page, and there's like 3 to 4 pages of history, which is interesting. I'm looking for the 2J because it was sold in Canada and makes servicing easier. With that said, there's only like 5 2J Gitas ever sold at auction. Is that true?
Max, can you pull up a picture of the Jita so everyone knows what we're talking about?
Yup.
The Altezza is the rear-wheel drive small compact car in North America known as the IS300. In other parts of the world, the IS200, but North America only got the 3-liter 2J version of it. This is why he's talking about parts. The Jita version of it is a station wagon version, which has questionable visual appeal. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. I'm always for a wagon version of a car. I don't think they got the proportions particularly good on this car. Look at that one with the 8.6 livery.
I
See
know. I've seen it in person.
Have you?
Yep.
Oh, what a wild car. Interesting. But the Altezza is a fantastic car. Yes, ma'am. But there was one yesterday in the white BB. Right in between seats. Oh, you checked? Where are them all? All of them? We keep one in the Lupo usually, but I was in there yesterday and I didn't see it. You want to just bring a battery? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, on to your question.
Auto.
There will be a time when we have enough staff in order to handle all of these things without me or Mike. But at the moment, that's not the case. Okay, the reason why so first off, the auction history only goes back 3 months. So there were 5 of them that sold out of the 150 Altezza Gitas. 5 of them were the 3-liter version. And the reason why you're seeing only 5 of them is because nobody bought them with the 3-liter. The Altezza Gita was a mid-market vehicle, and most people who are buying that car were looking for the smaller engine because it fits into a cheaper tax category here in Japan. The 3-liter in that would be more expensive to register and to pay road taxes on, and it wasn't seen as a significant enough bump for what was already a niche vehicle. And so, yeah, they just weren't sold too much. If you want one, you're going to have to wait for a while. Likely, you're going to see a better state of maintenance on the 3-liter on average, because people who are willing to spend the extra $3,000 on the bigger engine version and the more in taxes are maybe going to maintain the vehicle at a higher level. But that's going to be a story for each car their own.
Are we actually sure that the Altezza Gita was sold with the 2J?
Yes,
okay.
It was.
Because I always thought it was just the 1GFE in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in terms of parts, like all the parts are available except for engine internal parts and some engine parts. I don't know if it's actually worth getting the 3-liter, unless you wanted the 3-liter, of course. But several of the parts are going to cross over between them. Some important parts won't. Like I said in the last episode, if it's going to be a daily driver, it can be a little bit difficult to do a JDM car if that's your only vehicle. So you probably should have a backup in case something goes wrong. You can get parts. And if it is going to be your daily, yeah, the 3-liter is probably what you want to get.
Okay, then next question. Phil Slayer. 97. He asked, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on the current values / prices of 90s JDM hero cars and your hunch what might be the next batch of JDM cars that will go up in price in the future. I'm thinking Honda S660, FT2 Civic, LC500, 370Z, etc. What is your take on that?
We had an entire episode about the 90s JDM hero cars. And what's going to be the next batch of... Okay, current values for them. They're all very expensive. I expect that this is as high as we'll see prices over the short term. And so if you're thinking about, I want to get them before they get too expensive, well, they've already gotten too expensive. You buy them now, the price might stay about stable. They might go down a little bit. They might stay about the same. 90s hero cars are the hero cars, though. There isn't really so much after that. The Japanese car industry in the 90s was a unique place in history that has never happened before and is not going to happen after. This is special, and we can't expect it to happen again, and therefore there aren't really any of these 2000s hero cars. Even the S2000, kind of just barely a 90s car, I would still consider a 90s car, in the same way that the NSX is still a 90s car. In terms of future classics, though, I think the FD2 Civic is already kind of there. It's coming up on matching the original sales price of the car. And so if a car originally sells for 2 million yen, goes down over time and then will come back up, well, it's on the way back up and it has almost reached its original price. It'll still continue to go up in price a little bit more as it gets a little bit older and a little bit rarer. The LC500, a car I really like, but that category of car, large Grand Tourer, very niche category. It's just like the BMW 8 Series. Not a lot of interest in that category, and I don't see it becoming very... it's like the Panamera as well. Fits in that category to me.
Target group is quite slim.
Right. They tend to not be considered the hero car so much as outright sports cars do. So I don't think it's going to be seen as like a particularly popular car in the future. Which is a shame because I love it so much, but I don't want to spend what they're worth right now. But then also when it gets too old, I don't know. There's something about that car, about having it new. The newness of the car is the appeal to the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder when that goes away, if that's going to stay. I wonder if the styling is still going to be seen as very, very nice in the future. Because we don't know the direction that styling is going to go. It doesn't have a timeless design, I would say.
Yeah.
370Z, it's a fair lady. It's sold in manual. It's rear wheel drive, 400 horsepower engine. Absolutely, it's going to be a future classic. Might take some time because it just came out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about 400Z, but the 370 is going to have the same thing. It'll crash more than the 400Z, I think, because the 400 is at a moment now, and it's in the fair lady's life cycle, that the 400 might be kind of the last of the fair ladies. They didn't sell very many of them. Nissan doesn't make very much money on them, and Nissan as a company doesn't have a lot of money to invest in these kind of pet projects that don't make them a ton of cash. So that might be the end of the line for them, and being the final one and kind of having a retro styling and from all fair ladies across the range. You know, they had like the 280ZX styling in there and the 300ZX styling and the modern ones all kind of put together.
It's cool.
Feels like a swan song of sorts, and I think it's going to be well regarded in the future. 370 on the other hand, at the moment people don't like them very much because a ton of like dickheads own them, for lack of a better word. Like people who go and cause trouble in cars tend to
have a Z.
Right. It was the S chassis was the car before that, and the Eclipse was the car before that, and the Honda Civics, like the EF hatchback, was the car before that. There's always a car that the young kids enjoy.
Car.
Right.
Yeah.
The boy racer type car, and at the moment it's that. But in the future, you know, rear-wheel drive manual transmission cars, not a ton of them. It's going to have some appeal no matter what.
To bring your brain into a different headspace a bit, I think Jonathan has a good take. RB1 Honda Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
What about all of those like Alfa vans? And it's not like they are desirable, but
nobody cares about the first generation Alphard anymore. So I struggle to think that people are going to care about any generation of the Alphards. They sell them in such big numbers too. They're literally everywhere here in Japan. Odyssey is the same thing. Odyssey is a little unique because it's more like a kind of a station wagon, sporty type of minivan. But for one, I don't think that they were built particularly well, so I'm not sure if they're going to last in good condition for all that long. And I do feel like when it's a minivan compared to a sports car, you are banking more on the styling of it being the important thing because they're not a sports car. Sports car has the extra added bonus of being sporty and having a unique and great engine. Sure, it's got a K24 in it, but I've driven them. They don't feel that good to drive.
Unless you 2J swap them.
Or manual transmission swap would fix that problem. But with the automatic and an engine that gets most of its power higher in the RPM range, the K24 is not a great engine until you put a manual in it. 2J in that, on the other hand, not done very often because front-wheel drive car converted to rear-wheel drive is not too easy, but I'm sure somebody's done it.
Someone done it, and he's drifting it.
S660, that one will definitely be a future classic. That's Honda doesn't usually do sporty K cars to the same level as some of the other manufacturers do, like Daihatsu or Suzuki. And because it is a remake of the Honda Beat, it's very special. It's very unique and will be loved in the future. As for other cars, you picked some pretty good ones there. What's going to be a future classic that was not a 90s car?
EP3 Civic? You don't see them here.
I don't know. It's hard for me to tell with all of those new turbocharged Civics because I don't like them.
No, EP3 is a 2003. It's the
that's the hatchback one.
The weird shifter one that was made in the UK.
The shifter looks like
exactly.
a dick.
You said it. JZX 110?
Yes, because of the 1J, of course. But I think a lot of people feel like the 100 was the best one, and then it went downhill from that. And I feel kind of the same too. I think styling-wise, they're not there, and they do feel a little cheaper, like they were made to a price in a way that the earlier ones weren't.
First gen Fit.
First gen Fit? It's not a bad choice, but again, so many of them were sold. But then again, so many Civics were sold.
And the Fit got the special engine in Japan. At least it was not sold in Europe, but
very mildly special.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see the younger enthusiasts climbing onto that one in 5 years or so. Even right now, they're starting to get popular. They're still usable as a non-enthusiast car, which is not bad.
But now I'm starting to pull my hair. I don't know.
Miata, of course, is always going to be special.
NC Miata is good buyer at the moment, I feel.
Continue to like those.
Yeah.
Land Cruisers, of course, are always going to be popular no matter what.
Yeah. Crown Athlete Estate V. This is the chat now putting in the stuff, which is great.
Great, I love that. The Crown Athlete Estate V. I have a bone to pick with those cars. I have been a long-time supporter of those cars as a hidden gem, and now they're very much not a hidden gem. The amount of money you have to spend on one of those, I'm not joking, is 10 times what they cost 10 years ago.
Yeah, people were like, oh, they made an estate of this?
And the estate looks better than the sedan. It has a very...
The taillights, for me, they do it.
And the roof not hiding that it's an estate. You see in a lot of these like estate vehicles or station wagons, as they're called outside of Germany, they go, especially the sportier ones, they go with kind of a sleeker and a roof line that kind of falls down at the end before it goes into a faster back window. And then the Crown is like, no, you get a flat roof and a boxy back end, and that's what we want. Like the Volvos that are boxy are the ones people care about. The sleek ones are the ones that they don't.
I'm getting addressed as German dude in the chat, but yeah, Mark IV Supra. I mean, it was sold in the US, so...
Mark IV Supra is also a 90s car.
Yeah. Toyota Century will be a popular choice. Yeah?
Sure, yeah, I can see that. They're fairly cheap right now. I wouldn't say super cheap, but fairly cheap. They just don't hold together that well. They have so many electronics, and then when the electronics go, nobody wants to mess around with them or like.
They're all bespoke, right? They are like Centuries get bespoke parts, right? So
I think everything in the Century is bespoke. There might be like relays and stuff like that are not, but as far as the things that you can touch, there's nothing that goes in any other car.
Maybe it's good timing to go into the next question. Fraser Cameron was asking, do you see a changing pattern of what is being asked for against the previous years? For example, what sells to the UK, and has it changed over the past few years?
We sell mostly to Canada and USA, so it's a little harder to say what's going to be popular in the UK. It hasn't changed much recently, but European cars back to the UK has always been popular, and for good reason. The Japanese ones are taken care of very well, are very low mileage compared to the ones that you can get in Europe, and there are tons of them at auction for stupid cheap prices. So especially performance versions, AMGs, RS cars, RS6, RS4, RS3, BMW M cars. These types of cars are just... They're bountiful here, and they are popular, and they will continue to be. Japanese manufacturers tended to fall off a little bit since the 90s. They're still good, but like they're not better than everyone else like they used to be. And I think German cars have kind of filled that void. Like a lot of what we're seeing as like considerable improvements in cars in the last 20 years mostly have come outside of Japan, and they've come from German manufacturers, I think. As annoying as it is to maintain those cars, the structure of them, the engines of them, they tend to be very, very well done. And so I think those are going to be much more popular than JDM imports into the UK in the future.
And then another question that might be interesting.
And Alfards. The UK loves their Alfards. So we're sending those hand over fist over there. So
they have become very popular.
Sorry.
Someone with a name that is hard to read, but I'm going to do HHZR1IU. was asking, what are some underrated, that is our favorite word, Japanese off-roaders of the 2010s that are currently available?
So Japan doesn't have any underrated off-roaders. Your car is either an off-roader or it's not. And the only off-roaders that they have are the Land Cruiser and the Jimny, pretty much. Everything else is kind of soft roader, or it's like four-wheel drive and meant to look like an off-road vehicle, but it's not really a robust enough to be called an off-roader, in my opinion. In that case, there's nothing that's underrated because there's only the two ones that are extremely popular for off-roading. But that's what you want in an off-roader. If your off-roader is underrated, that means you can't have the aftermarket parts that you want to off-road it. Things like lift kits and, winches and bumpers and taillight covers and exoskeletons and all the cool stuff that you want, roof carriers. If it's the popular car like the Jimny or the Land Cruiser, you'll have plenty. And if it's not, then I guess Delica can kind of go in there a little bit. The new Delica is much softer than the older ones are. So the 2010 one is maybe there. It's about the same level as the Pajero is, or the Outlander, which is, again, not bad. You can absolutely off-road those. But if you're serious about off-roading, you need something that's going to be able to handle it. And there's very few cars that can do that.
And that are underrated.
Yeah. We all know about them, really.
Okay. Chat questions. First one was from Richard. Could you guys ship the auction sheets with the cars to the customers?
Could we?
Yeah.
You guys have a copy of the auction sheet in your email.
Maybe he means the original. Where all
the originals aren't always in the car. So the original auction sheet, when the cars come into us or they come into the port, the auction sheet is sometimes in there, sometimes not in there. Auction sheets go missing and stuff. If we see it in the car, we'll fold it and put it in the glove box. And I'd say like 90+% of the cars have the auction sheet, and we put it into the glove box. So you'll find it there. If the car didn't come with an auction sheet, it's because somebody lost it somewhere. Most likely not us, because there's no reason we would lose it, right? They usually have it on the seat or on the dashboard, and we just pop it into the glove box and we're done.
Okay, Cameron asked, would you guys think the Alfa Romeo GTV V6 makes a good enthusiast classic?
I have heard that they are front heavy because of the large engine that is in them. Alfa Romeo GTV V6. We're talking about the one with the four small headlights in the front.
Let me pull up a picture. Oh, those. I'm interested.
Do I get a picture?
Yeah, I'm interested, Derek, to see what you say about
Yeah, okay.
those.
This is the one that I had thought about. So you can get these in 5-speed manual or 6-speed manual. They come in a 3-liter or a 3.2-liter V6 or a 2-liter 4-cylinder. The 4 cylinders are a little gutless and the engines are noisy. The V6 that engine sounds amazing. Like, it's brappy and raucous and is amazing sounding. The interiors fall apart. They are ultra cheap. Like, the plastics that they use is subcompact quality plastics in a car that was sold up market. The seats in them, very beautiful leather seats, and then you just look right in front of you and you've got all this gross plastic that's like not lining up properly because the pins for them have come out.
Italian style.
Right. We've sold a ton of these back 10 years ago or so. These days they are now pretty rare. And I think because this type of car are a little hard to maintain. And they were quite literally like automatic transmission ones were 100,000 yen. Manual transmission ones were 300,000 yen. So at those prices, everyone around the world was like, yes, please, let's get them from Japan. And they did. And now we are close to fresh out.
I saw so many of them with Ferrari plates on it. Like
really?
Ferrari badges, yeah.
That's
there was
so dumb.
One in my hometown that was yellow with a Ferrari badge on it.
Really?
Yeah.
We've probably exported like 50 of them or so back in the day because they were like free money. You would import them to your country and you'd get $7,000 just by selling them.
Okay, we have a bunch of chat questions, so we need to be a little bit faster with answering them. Next question, Gregor. Are you noticing any changes yet for the pricing at auction because of the tariffs?
Yeah, I think so. I think prices have softened. Within the last year, they have. I think the COVID money kind of ran out. The cars got expensive, and then we were seeing some buyers, depending on Like, it seems like depends very much on the buyers. We're seeing a lot more of our customers bidding a little bit lower. We're seeing a lot more cars go unsold because the seller is expecting a higher price. And some cars we're getting at what I consider to be a pretty decent deal. I'm not sure if this has to do with tariffs. The tariff situation is a little bit weird because all information points to the fact that they're going to be retracted because they've already gone to court twice and they've already been dissed twice, and now there's only one more court for them to go to, and they will in October. And if the final court decides the same as the last two courts, then they're just going to be deemed illegal, and as such you won't have to worry about them. But there are a lot of people being cautious. Our sales are down this year, maybe as a result of that, maybe as a result of other reasons. So some of our dealers are not buying as much or just aren't buying at all at the moment as a result of that, probably because of tariffs. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I know some people have outright said that it's because of the tariffs, but from a macro scale, like everyone as a whole, we can assume it's probably because of the tariffs, but we don't fully know.
There's many other factors as well.
Yeah, I do feel like the Hero JDM cars of the 90s have become so popular as a boost up. This is how the US got into importing. The R32 Skyline becomes popular, people start importing it, and then for the next 15 years there's this crazy time of getting all the best cars that we were never able to get. But then that era of cars is no longer the case afterwards. Yeah. And so now there are still great cars that you can buy from Japan, but they aren't the cars that you grew up with playing video games that you have been waiting for decades to buy. And that lack of enthusiasm might be causing some lowering of sales. It might be just the precipice of that happening.
Okay, next question is from Jonathan, which was already asked in the chat, but I think it's fun to just have a 10-second answer to this. How about motorcycles?
Yeah, that was already answered in the chat.
Yeah.
You want to do 20 motorcycles? Send us an email. You want to do one motorcycle, then you're paying more than a car to ship it, by far.
Yeah.
So your $2,500 motorcycle is now $8,000 in North America, and it is not a good deal for you. As such, we don't want to do a one-off. Our systems rely on us going to the registration office with 50 cars that we've bought and doing them all together. These are efficiencies in scale. We do one motorcycle, and now we're doing a whole bunch of special processes for making that $500 not worth it for us.
Yeah.
So no for motorcycles unless you want to go big.
And then the second question from him was, what is your favorite obscure car?
I need more time to think about it. I got
BB
so
Open
many.
Deck?
I do love the BB Open Decks.
Favorite obscure car?
I don't know. Like I could probably have like 100 different obscure cars that I love.
You know what? I'm gonna say Fiat Multipla.
Yeah.
I've ridden in so many of them, and apart from the looks, good car.
I might go with Megane RS R26.
Is that obscure?
Yes, because they took a grocery getter car and then turned it into a Porsche 911 GT3 fighter with plastic windows in it.
Yeah, true.
What manufacturer sells a car with plastic windows? And not just plastic, they're thin enough you can poke the window in by several centimeters.
Okay, then Jonathan had another question. Are EVs seen as desirable or undesirable in Japan? I always thought electric K cars would make sense.
I don't know. I know that they don't sell very well here.
Yeah.
Compared to gasoline cars, but I don't know about popularity just based on them not selling very well.
You see Teslas quite often, but I feel like it's missing, like we're missing the infrastructure.
I think you don't see Teslas very often. When I went to Canada, like every third car was a Tesla.
That puts it into relation, yeah.
And I suspect that North America is probably pretty similar to that. But in Japan, you can go weeks without seeing a Tesla.
True. Okay, next quick question.
No, I want to get into what you said there. I think you're right. I think it's an infrastructure thing.
Yeah.
Many Japanese people don't have a parking lot for their car. They park in communal parking lots that are gravel paved areas for landowners to wait for their land to appreciate. It's really weird. There will be a neighborhood of 15 houses, and one of them will be missing a house, and that'll be where everyone parks their car.
Yeah. And there is, in my street, there is a parking spot that has fast charging. So you can rent a monthly parking spot there, and you can charge your EV. None of the cars parked there are EVs, but the parking space is twice the price as the other parking spaces right next to it.
And people are still renting it because they
People are
otherwise
still
couldn't find a spot. Wow. Yeah, we have the electric vehicle chargers in this building for the office. They put them in 2 years ago. Nobody has used them. And the only cars that I ever see as like electric cars that are parked at their houses are at real houses, which don't exist too much here.
Yeah,
like the majority of people in Japan live in apartment buildings.
Yeah. But I also think electric K cars would absolutely be the perfect use
Nissan
case.
has one.
The Sakura is the EV one.
And Mitsubishi has one. But I can't think of any other ones.
Okay, good sales question. Do you guys ship license plates?
Yes. If you want the license plate from your car, you can get it. If your car didn't have a license plate, you can get one from our stock of license plates.
There will be a hole in them because we need to decommission.
We can actually bring one. I'll just go get one.
Okay. So I got the stream all to myself. Guys, in the chat, put something funny so that Derek can see it when he comes back. He doesn't know about it. Go now. Or spam the heart button. Okay, he's back.
All right, I'm back. I gotta take this tag off because I don't want to show whose it is. So this is for a K car, and it's yellow because K car license plates are yellow. And they just started this about a year ago. You can start receiving the plates back where previously it was illegal to. They cut a hole in it here, and so you get this with a hole in it. You don't like the hole, and then they sell these caps you can put in, and they're sticky, and they just sit like that. And I guess for the K car it's a little weird because it's a yellow plate and they don't have any yellow caps.
Sure.
But for the white plates they look pretty cool. The only thing is this cap fits here, and then you have to modify the back of the cap because it you can't put this on your car anymore because it gets in the way of where the bolt is.
But still, you're getting a Japanese license plate.
Yep. So you can do that. The price of it is $11,500, and that includes sending the plate, the cost of sending the plate to you anywhere in the world.
Cool. I think it's sweet. Are you going to leave again?
I am not. I'm going to put this here.
Okay, and then the last one. No, not the last one, but have you ever seen an Aston Martin Cygnet at auction?
I have seen them in real life. They're not that common. The Cygnet, if you don't know, is a Toyota IQ with an Aston Martin face on it in order for them to comply with emissions standards. You know, their average for all of the vehicles in their fleet has to be a certain amount, so get the most fuel efficient car, turn it into an Aston Martin, and then your averages come down. We get a picture of it that we can show.
One up.
It's really goofy looking. You'll see them every once in a while here. Nobody really likes them because people have a visceral reaction against them because it's like, wow, what a dumb looking Aston Martin.
Do you know how much more they cost than
Grant wants to tell you how much more they could. Grant, do you want to sit down?
Oh my god.
Oh, is the grand stream
I
reveal?
would love to, but I have got to jump back into bids real fast.
Oh,
How much is the price difference between the IQ and the Aston Martin?
The IQ is 1,000 yen at auction.
The IQ is 150,000 yen at auction.
I have seen a seller once asking 4 million.
4 million for the Cygnet.
ouch.
But how many Cygnets did they sell? The press versions and then none of them else? Like I couldn't see anyone buying one of those.
Maybe. Yeah.
Unless they were joking about something.
It's
Like
an IQ with Aston
like a
Martins.
millionaire dad was like, haha, daughter, here for your sweet 16, I'll buy you a stupid car.
Didn't Mark Zuckerberg's wife do like a Cayenne limousine extension thing because they liked the Cayenne so much that they wanted to have a limousine, and then Porsche did that for them?
I don't know that story.
Imagine being so filthy rich that you can just go to a manufacturer like McLaren? Gordon Murray? and just say, I want you to design my own car.
Right.
That's never mind.
No, that's a problematic amount of money. You shouldn't be able to do that.
And yeah,
The interior,
leather,
it-
everything.
it uses many of the same parts as the Toyota, but then they're wrapped in leather. So
Okay, last question, and then I'm not gonna go into any one more. Was the Honda FRV sold in Japan?
what's the Honda FRV?
So if Derek doesn't know it, maybe no. This guy.
The FRV was called the Freed here. Freed? I think that's right. Edix. Okay. Yes, it was sold here. It had a different name though.
How common are they?
Fairly common and fairly cheap. Nobody's buying these. They might have a CVT. I would want to watch out for that. If they do have a CVT, I don't recommend them.
Yeah.
140 horsepower.
I was looking at one of those when they were brand new with my
That's
mom.
an odd question. Somebody wants one of these?
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand how they're probably quite spacious and reliable. And
They
that's
are
the
very
end of the
spacious.
adjectives.
They are a little bit into the
Like
Odyssey,
good to live with.
Odyssey type
Mm-hmm.
car.
I can
Not
see that.
super vanny, but still van.
These are of the category of cars that people have decided are no longer worth being on the road. So if you buy one, you're buying them for $18.
Oh, someone said they sold around 300 to 600 total worldwide.
What?
I couldn't believe.
But in Japan, you see these on the road every once in a while.
The Cygnet? Oh, yeah,
Oh.
that would be
Okay, that
If
doesn't
this was
sound like
only
the right numbers
300,
for
then
Honda.
Here's your hidden gem, but okay.
edX. All right, so end of the show. Mike's not here to celebrate with us, but we'll be back again in a week, and you'll probably be able to see both me and Mike at that time.
Yeah, and I'm here too, but not seen.
I've got a new version of the lyrics for the theme song for the Cool JDM show, Max.
Ooh.
And I
Can I
haven't
hear it?
listened to it yet. He sent it in yesterday morning,
Mhm.
and then I was going to listen to it over lunch. Like, I want to listen to it a few times through, but I don't want anyone in the office to hear it. I don't know why. For whatever
It's a
reason, I
secret
just
thing
want
for
to
him.
kind of keep this a little bit of a secret.
Just like the livery for a race car. Still haven't seen it. It's still wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen what it looks like. I didn't show
No,
you the...
You didn't show me.
Oh.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Okay. The time frame for that might be another month or so. We're going to have the lyrics decided before they get officially recorded, and then there's going to be the processing and all of that phase that comes after.
Okay. Thank you for watching.
Yep.
Like and subscribe.
To Max's channel, Max Toge.
No? It's Drives Japan. Thank you for the
Drives
shout
Japan
out. I got
channel.
an official shout out from Derek Weldon at Pacific Coast. Subscribe to Drives Japan, look, watch the fit video, and see you in the next week.
Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye bye.